building awareness of local resources that will change your destiny's compass is Tarsha Weary's #1 goal.
I wanted to create something that would give people an inside peek at the heart, soul, and struggle of true entrepreneurs.
Do you feel stuck in one place? Have you been looking for practical steps that you can use to guide you through the hardest times in your journey? Then you've tuned in at the right time to the right place.
I like to think of myself as the business consultant for the next generation. I want them to know that they may possess a billion-dollar idea, so don't underestimate yourself.
The only on-demand, inspirational, motivational show that is geared towards connecting minorities to local business owners and resources.
I really want to use this platform to show people how to want more out of life and that they need to do more to achieve that goal. You really can be more than what your current situation is dictating to you.
Listen live every Sunday starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to join in on the conversations.
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Without further delay, here's the host of Controlling Your Future, Tarsha Weary.
Hello and welcome to Controlling Your Future. I am your host, Tarsha Weary, and I am so excited that you've decided to take the next 30 minutes or so of your day to share it with me. I plan to impart wisdom, enlightenment, hope, and passion into your vision that I know you hold inside of you. So on today's show, this interview is a little different than what I've done before. I'm seeking to help a 17-year-old Baltimore-based nonprofit organization called Baltimore Urban Debate League. They help students by teaching them how to use their voices to better express themselves. They need partners and volunteers to help expand their after-school program throughout the state of Maryland. Coleen Reyes is the president and CEO of the Baltimore Urban Debate League. So make sure you stay tuned to hear that segment. I do these shows on Sunday because it gives me the opportunity to give thanks to the Creator that is the giver of all our gifts received, whether it's through a dream, whether it's imparted into you by another person, or something has happened in your life that has given you a driven purpose that you just cannot shake. So I take the next few minutes to give thanks with a song. I believe that there is a song for every emotion that you are feeling. If you can't find a reason to appreciate the simple moments in life, just listen in. If you don't like the song, you can always fast forward past it. But at the end of the song, I'll give you some invaluable information through these pre-recorded interviews or just me speaking to you that will help you on your journey towards living a successful and purposeful life.
Wake up and smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me. But this child awaits, strong in the faith. Lord, you are the refuge that I can't wait to get to, 'cause I can't let a day go, can't let a day go by without thanking you for the joy that you bring to my life. And something about the way your sun shines on my face. It's a love so true, I can never get enough of you. This feeling can't be wrong. I'm about to get my worship on. Take me away. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When trouble seems to rain on my dreams, it's not a big deal. Let it wash all the bugs off my windshield, 'cause you're showing me that in you I'm free, and you're still the refuge that I've just got to get to. So I won't let a day go, won't let a day go by. So put the drop top down, turn it up, I'm ready to fly. And something about the way your sun shines on my face. It's a love so true, I can never get enough of you. This feeling can't be wrong. I'm about to get my worship I sing about. There ain't no limitations to your amazing grace, your amazing grace. And there's something about the way your love shines on my face. Oh no, I can never get enough of you. This feeling can't be wrong. I'm about to get my worship on. I'm gonna sing a brand new song. Yeah, I'm about to get my worship on. Take me away on this beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Such a beautiful day.
That was Jasmine Guy with Beautiful Day. On your journey in life, one thing that you'll learn is the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. And one major thing that will help you stay sound is to make sure that you are enjoying the moment and that you appreciate the day. Make sure that you're giving thanks to your creator every day. It really helps with keeping you focused. So, Controlling Your Future is a digital show that has its purpose set out to do just that, give you back control of your future. In these podcasts, I hope to share with you valuable information that will help you overcome difficult times in your personal life, your business, and with your finances. Make sure you are liking our social media pages and our links to stay informed as to when I will go live with these shows. That will give you a chance to call in and talk to me. As I continue to gain your trust, hopefully you will spread the word and the links about controlling your future to encourage someone else. Right now, our guest is going to be pre-recorded. I interview with CEOs and presidents and or founders of multi-million dollar organizations. These conversations are real, passionate, and full of insight, resources, and tips that you can use to navigate through your journey towards fulfilling your purpose. Now, I'm going to play this pre recorded interview with myself and Colleen Reyes, who is the president and CEO of the Baltimore Urban Debate League. When I come back, I'm going to pull out the nuggets and jewels of the conversation. So listen in.
Welcome back to Controlling Your Future. We have our guest, Ms. Coleen Reyes, the Executive Director over Baltimore Urban Debate League. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. So let's really dig into a little bit about the Baltimore Urban Debate League. What do they do for the community?
Yeah, so we are a nonprofit that's been in existence for 17 years. We work with elementary, middle, and high school. We now start with third graders. In the past, we started with fourth graders through 12th graders, and they do debate. After school, during the summer, on the weekends, which is an amazing time to have everyone together. And this is them debating the merits and the problems with policies in their school, in their city, in the country, in the world, and international policies. We also have increased this year the different kinds of debates we have. So we have different kind of public forum debates, which is not policy focused. They're more about the things that are happening. So should there be search and seizure in schools, or how should we value the internet? And then we have opportunities for our students to do original oratory pieces and dramatic interpretations. So it's all about young people using their voice and changing other people's opinions about them.
Step me through how you become a school. Are you in all schools, or what school districts are you in? And step me through the qualifications of a youth getting into this debate.
Great. So we are primarily a partner with Baltimore City Schools. Okay. We have partnered with other schools. I'm actually going to another county tomorrow to see about opportunities there. So individual schools partner with us, and we then support a teacher in that school to be a coach. We give them the training, we then give them support, we give them evidence, we give them all the supporting materials, and then we provide the transportation, and we provide all the opportunities for debating. So for qualifications for a student, I think any student can debate. Okay. I was a quiet student in school, And even there's a place for those students that don't want to talk in class. The research is especially important in that place, and I think that a lot of the quiet students like me would have been really good at a cross-sex, which is asking questions. We're very good at asking questions, and I don't have to say as much, but I can make my point through a question. And so our students, and we work with our coaches about finding the hidden debaters. So there are people who naturally seem like they want to debate a point, and we think that's fantastic. We also think there are some that want to debate, want to discuss issues in depth, and don't have that opportunity, and it may manifest itself in other ways. They might get into fights. They might argue with people all the time. Why not channel that into debating something that can actually make a change? So those are our qualifications, if there are any.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah. So when you pick a coach, is there a particular subject that this coach has to have a background in order to assist these students in far as channeling the proper, like, do they have to be trained in a particular type of, what am I trying to say, academics, so that they can deal with the foundation of helping this student become successful?
So you would think English teachers, social studies teachers.
Exactly.
And we do have an abundance of English teachers and social studies teachers, but we also have math teachers and physics teachers who have been our coaches. It's not about your academics. This is very separate from academics, and I think honestly some of those science teachers and math teachers might like to argue themselves and don't have the opportunity. I mean, how much do you really argue, debate in math? We'd like to increase that, by the way, but how much do you debate in math? And so this is a great release even for the teacher. What we look for in our coaches is really commitment to their students. They need to be kind of intriguing and interesting. You can't be, the regular old teacher. You have to be exciting. It's because your kids spend a lot of time with you. Okay. So you have to be interesting, and the kids kind of need to be curious about, like, what's up with this guy? So that's what we look for. Something intriguing. Okay. Yeah.
So is this an additional job for the teacher? Or because it's after school, or is it volunteer, or how does that work?
So it is considered volunteer. We do give them a stipend, and it's an extracurricular, so it's not part of their day job at all. Yeah.
Does it count for professional development point?
So in the past, we've heard that it could.
Okay.
And some teachers have tried, and I don't know how successful they've been to get an AU in Baltimore City. It's called an academic unit. Okay. To show that they're doing things to help the school in extracurricular ways.
So let's talk a little bit more about the foundation.
Sure.
The CEO and the executive director of the foundation.
Sure.
Give me a little bit about your background as to why are you an attorney? Give me a little bit of background. Your background.
No attorney here. So let's see. I am a former teacher, a former school leader, a former coach of instructional coaches, a former coach of school leaders. I left the classroom when I was a teacher out of frustration. I think I had a different mentality. My focus was not if my kids learned my content, though that is important. So I focus on my kids becoming amazing people. And in high school, that seems to be a little bit more of a challenge because the department wants you to focus on teaching content. Like, I taught Spanish. Don't ever speak in English. I'm like, well, that's not what my kids need, and so I'm not going to do that. So I've always focused. I taught Spanish. I taught English. I even taught a little sign language. So it's all about using your voice, expressing yourself. And I also did a lot of professional development for teachers, which I love because it's many times not done so well. So I came to Boodle to start the professional development 4 years ago. I was the director of professional development. We did that, and we continue to do that, which is wonderful. Within a year, I became the director of all programs. Maybe in 6 months, from March to August. And then last year I became this CEO or executive director because I believe in programming that supports the young people. I believe in young people's voice, even though I was a quiet kid and I was extremely quiet. Like sometimes my teachers couldn't get me to talk. But I believe in young people. I believe they're brilliant. I believe they have so much to say, and we as adults need to ask the questions, provide the opportunity, and then sometimes just be quiet and listen.
Yes.
We don't always do that. And this is why I do what we do.
Give me a scenario where a parent enrolls their youth into the Urban Debate League, and it's been successful. So give me a scenario, the type of student that you brought in, where they pretty much gave up hope, and then the success of that student at the end.
Sure. So I have a couple students in mind that one that I watched in elementary go to middle school and one in high school. So the elementary middle school student was, I guess, like me, pretty quiet.
Okay.
And I actually had to be the judge at her very first debate. And she cried. And she tried really hard not to cry, but she cried. And it's okay, they survived, right?
Right.
2 years later, maybe it was 3 years later, at the end of your celebration, she volunteered to speak, and she spoke in front of 200 people, and I thought, is this the same kid? This is amazing.
Exactly.
We've had young people in high school become disillusioned with high school, because it can be disillusioning, and this be the thing that keeps them going to school because they want to come to debate. And that helps them do better in their grades, helps them do better in class. They get to travel sometimes the world using their voice in this way. It's amazing, the changes we've seen. And we are still in contact with a lot of our alumni. And so I get to see them become law students, and it's amazing.
And you've always been in Baltimore for 17 years.
We have been in Baltimore for 17 years.
With the connections and the change in the mayor, is there going to be any issues, or do you connect with politics with this? Kind of explain that.
So that's a lot of my job as CEO or ED, is connecting with council members and mayor and the CEO of the school district, lots of partners, university partners. That's the majority of my job, is making sure that we as an organization stay connected and people are still talking about us 17 years later.
Yes.
Because otherwise that's a long life for a nonprofit.
It is.
Right? And so and we're evolving, which is awesome. So we need to just stay out there talking to people, which is great for somebody who is quiet in nature. It's great.
Exactly. So back to the youth.
Yes.
And this could be because the ultimate goal is that this audio podcast gets heard by a lot of leadership.
Yes.
And that's probably not in Baltimore.
Sure.
And they may have been debating on, do they want to bring in a debate organization or start their own?
Yeah.
If let's say they want to start their own, when you're looking for these outside partnerships outside of Baltimore, are you looking to help them start it, or you're looking to come into that school district to do or run it? What do you envision?
We can do both. We are built in such a way that we can replicate across the state.
Okay.
We are built in such a way that we can provide support from here. We've had schools come to us from DC in the past when they didn't have an urban debate league. So we make it work, because our goal is to have young people using their voice. And debate is our tool, but our ultimate goal is to have our young people using their voice based in fact, right? Sharing their opinions and basing those opinions on some facts.
Okay. So now I want to get to money.
Okay.
How are you funded? Who giving you money to keep this going for 17 years?
Yes.
The mayor has changed multiple times in 17 years.
Correct. So I also say that our job is to get funding from private sources, foundations, and individual people, and kind of help connect it to the school system, right? We are that building of that partnership. That's what we do. So we spend a lot of time, that's another piece of my job. I did it just this morning, meeting with those people that fund us. I said foundations, the OSI, the big guys, the little guys, this in the city, outside of the city. We spend a lot of time finding funding. We haven't gone federal, but that's not out of the question either.
So with the private funders, do you find that, are they nonprofit or for-profit?
They are nonprofit.
Okay. And do you find that the reason they fund is because their passion is on, they understand the significance of the communication piece that debate brings to those that don't want to be heard, as well as that want to be heard but don't know what they're saying half the time, how you structure that in a debate. So tell me, fill me in.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of our funders are committed to evening the playing field of it.
Okay.
Most of our schools in the city are underserved, and a lot of our funders want to help that issue. And so we are, again, a conduit for that. A lot of young people outside of urban settings, that's why we're called Urban Debate League, outside of this setting have these opportunities, and they're just a norm in their school. And that's not a norm in an underserved population or school system. And a lot of our funders and we want to even that playing field. Every child deserves this opportunity. Why shouldn't our young people get the same opportunity? That's just absurd to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what we do. We fight to make sure that, no matter your zip code, you should have the opportunity to practice this while you're still young, so that when you get into the real world, whatever that means, the adult world, I don't know what that means,
Right.
but to get into this other world,
Which world are we in?
world, right? Who knows right now, but
Exactly.
when they leave the K-12 setting, how they use their voice to change their trajectory, right? To find opportunities. Again, students outside of this setting use their voice constantly to find opportunities. Sometimes opportunities are thrown in their lap,
Right.
and our students have to find them. We want to help them find that voice to find them because they deserve them.
So let's talk enrollment numbers. How many students can you take on per district or per school? How does that work? Is it per district or is it per school? And how many are allowed? And what happens when you have more than wants to come in? Do you turn folks away? What happens?
Nope, we don't turn anybody away.
Okay.
We set a goal of each school for 15 kids.
Okay.
And we have some schools that have 40 kids on their roster, and we love that.
Okay.
We just stop that up with a biscuit, as they used to say. We love that. We're not turning anyone away. We have summer camp in the summer. We don't turn people away. This is what we do. This is our job. It is the right and fair thing to do, to provide this opportunity. So that's what we do.
I need to know from you, if you could say something to a parent that has that child that is the bully, or has that child that is being bullied.
Yeah.
How do you get them to introduce that child to this program in the urban community? Because I know it's only in Baltimore right now, so how do we do that?
So reach out to us, because we love doing workshops.
Okay.
With the young people in my personal life, I push them by asking questions. You remember, when little kids are 2 and they're asking why all the time, if you flip that on a older young person, they don't really like it, but they do start thinking.
Right.
Whether they say it or not, it does make them think like, well, right, why? I mean, that's why my favorite teacher was my favorite teacher, is because he asked me questions that made me question myself. And I think that that's what we can do as adults and those young people. But of course, we, as the Debate League, are happy to support through workshops and summer camp and those kinds of opportunities.
So they would reach out to their school district
Sure.
and probably contact who at the school. So how do they get in contact with the Baltimore Urban
Debate League.
Debate?
So at the schools that have partnered with us, there is a coach who is the contact. They can be within contact with us all the time.
Okay.
At school districts that don't have us, so we do work with the Office of Teaching and Learning in Baltimore City and see if they would want to partner with us, because again, we would love to increase this. We know that there are kids all over the state
Right.
who are not getting all of the things that they deserve, and we would love to help address that.
Okay. And so with the goal of 15, but not turning anyone away, does
Yes.
that mean that you would need more funding? Does the funding you have cover your staff, or does it cover the process of going to the different debates?
It covers, so for both, it covers both. So our staff, that's their job, right? They go to the coaches and make sure everything's okay.
Mhm.
And then once a month, in essence, they come together at a school site on a Saturday. All the schools come together and have a debate tournament. So at that point, we can have 50 to 75 rooms of kids debating. They debate 3 rounds in that day. And so we cover all of that cost. That's our job internally, is to make sure that this can happen after school and practices, and then we come together once a month. And then in our high school program, they travel, and no students have to pay for any of that. We cover all of that cost, the bus, the hotel, so they get national debate experience. They're not just debating within their city.
Yeah, this is an awesome program.
Thanks, we love what we do.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
You know, you have a passion, and they need people passionate about what they do, that if they say, listen, we're out of money, you're going to figure out a way to make it work. And that's why I tell folks that's all it's about. If you're doing this for the money, if you can, one of those schools, without saying their school, closed down because they lost their money and just shut down, you weren't passionate about helping people. You should have figured out a way to find the money.
That's right.
And so we're the same way at DigiBiz.News, and we want to connect with people that are making an impact. And I think the Baltimore Urban Debate League is the best partner to have, because our goal is to expose the youth to this opportunity, to let them know that if there's something you do, and there is a place that you can have a voice, to put that out there. And then you might not, you don't want to just talk about anything. You need to be on the debate team to make sure you're debating facts, or you're talking about facts and you're not making an emotional decision on how you're communicating with others.
So right.
So and obviously I'm a debate person because I was on the debate team in Michigan.
Yeah, right.
But I learned to channel that. And sometimes you get over passionate because subjects come up that you really have a passion about, and then they purposely put the person on the other team that don't even care. So they're gonna attack all your passionate things, and it teaches you how to have self-control, discipline, without fighting, without the martial arts, and it's a mental thing, right? Whenever your child don't know how to act, they also put you in karate somewhere so they can discipline you.
Right.
But you have to learn to discipline your mind. And these are programs that need to be continued to be funded because they're reaching out to our kids, and this is a resource. And I pray that you are in all school districts in the state and go global and everything else.
Thank you.
Especially since you can, duplicate and replicate yourself globally.
Yes.
We just have to figure out how to get the word out there that you're here and that this is a solution for other school districts, for those that they're having trouble with.
Absolutely. And we're even thinking about, and we're constantly talking about our young people's voice through social media even.
Yes.
Because, it doesn't disappear. And you have to be careful what you say.
Exactly.
So we want them to use that voice very wisely.
As you can see, I'm not the only one that care about exposing our youth to opportunities that can make them become better adults. The nuggets in today's show is we need to put our resources in programs like the Baltimore Urban Debate League, which uses their funds to provide students with techniques to help them develop better communication skills. If your school district is in need of a program, please use the links to reach out to Ms. Coleen Reyes to get this program in your schools. If we don't invest in our youth now, what future do any of us have?